Hi everyone, I'm Victoria and today I'm here with Ginny, the Executive Director and Founder of the Evelyn Alexander Wildlife Rescue Center. I'm so excited to be here with you today. Can you tell me about how this place got started?
Well, we got started over 20 years ago. I saw a woodchuck that was hit by a car. I was going to work at my job, and there was nobody to help it. And I felt so bad that there was nobody to help injured wildlife on the east end of Long Island. So I figured I would open a center myself. I studied and took a test and got licensing and just learned from experience in veterinarians how to care for wildlife.
And I mean, this place is so amazing and I know it's one of the only places here, so you must get a lot of calls and stuff. So how many calls do you get a day?
We probably get like anywhere between 30 and 50, depending on the time of year. It's very, very busy. We are the only wildlife hospital in eastern Long Island, and it just grew in proportion. It grew. We used to get maybe 100 or 200 animals a year, and now we get 1,600 to 1,700 a year.
Wow.
Injured that come in. And that's actually, a very sad thing to think that all these animals are getting injured, mostly by humans and their activities, unintentionally. But as we're developing on the East End, it's just a very sad thing that our development is causing such distress to wildlife.
And how many animals do you have here today?
Today there's probably 250 at
Wow.
one time. It's baby season. We have litters of possums that where the mother was killed, and they can have 13 babies. We have litters of squirrels. We still have baby birds coming in. As soon as the summer season is over, we start to slow up a
Right.
little bit because the baby season is over, and that's the bulk of our work.
Yeah. So the center is supported by volunteers and donations. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
We would be lost without our volunteers. In addition to our very small staff, we have about 40 volunteers that come once a week or sometimes even more than that and help with the actual animal care. And then we have about another 70 or 75 volunteers that respond to rescues in the field. When we get calls about injured wildlife, naturally we can't go out and get every one of them, so we rely on our trained volunteers to do that. Donations, we do run on donations. We don't get any government funding. A lot of people think we're on a county park or the government takes care of wildlife. All the money that we get is from donations and from our fundraisers. We have an annual operating budget now of over $600,000, and each year we have to raise that amount just to keep the place going and get the animals the best care they possibly can.
And what kind of donations are needed?
Of supplies, we're always using things like paper towels and bleach, and gift cards are especially wonderful because then we can go to Stop and Shop and Bar Boy or pick up the supplies that we need, and those are always good. Gas for our van. There's so many things that we need.
And if people want to go and donate and volunteer, where should they go to?
They can go to our website at www.wildliferescuecenter.org. There's a place there to download a volunteer application. There's a donation form on there. Our administrative costs are very low, less than 20%, so almost all the money donated goes directly to wildlife care.
And how old do you have to be to volunteer?
16 years old. Because some of the animals are dangerous. We do get a
Right.
lot of young people that want to donate, want to volunteer, but the animals can be very dangerous and unpredictable. They don't know we're trying to help. They're scared, and they lash out sometimes when you're trying to clean their cage, and you have to be very careful to keep yourself protected from the injuries.
Has anybody gotten injured while taking care of the animals?
Yes, a few people have. A couple of staff, got some cuts or punctures and had to get the whole, antibiotics and everything. But
Yeah.
fortunately, no one's been very seriously injured. We have safety equipment, we have goggles, we have handling gloves, we have towels. And the main thing is you have to just stay very alert and just always keep one eye on the animal at all times.
Yeah. And what's the most common animal you usually get here?
Probably, I would say the squirrel. As far as babies are concerned, at one time we had about 50 squirrels that we had to raise.
Wow.
It was after a big storm. Then the second most common one, maybe in the bird family, would be the American robin and their babies.
Yeah. So I understand a lot of celebrities help to donate and fund the Wildlife Center. Can you tell me any cool stories you have?
Well, we are very fortunate to have some well-known people. We have Beth and Howard Stern, which actually they had called us way back for a rescue of a swan, and he actually had the swan contained, and then we went there and picked up the swan and brought it in, and then they expressed an interest in the place, and when they got married in 2008, they requested that instead of gifts, people donate to the center.
Wow.
And that was amazing. We were able to put another extension, allowing us to take more animals. That was really, really a nice thing.
And I understand that he was even here just the other day taking pictures of the center.
He was. He's an amazing photographer. So he is actually very, very talented. And he came with a beautiful picture and took nice pictures of our animals with Beth. And the pictures are just amazing.
Yeah.
And he's a very kind person.
And I also know that there was a rescue story about a butterfly. Can you tell me about that too?
Many years ago, when we first opened, Paul McCartney, who has a home in East Hampton, called us about an injured butterfly. I was very touched about that. It actually was a butterfly that had a deformed wing.
Wow.
And I was touched that he called himself and that he cared enough, even so much about a butterfly. And we had the butterfly brought here, and we bought special food for it, and gave it a few more months of life. They don't live long anyway, as monarch butterflies. But
Right.
it was just a nice story that someone with so much on their plate and such a busy celebrity would take time out of their day to help an injured butterfly.
Yeah, that's so amazing. Can you tell me a little bit about what's on the property here?
This is an amazing county park. We have an agreement with Suffolk County where they're letting us use the facility. And it's a 44-acre park. It's quiet. We have the hospital in the back, way in the back of the building with cages. And the animals that are in the front are animals that have been permanently injured and can never be released to the wild, unfortunately. And people can see those. We have a special license to keep those and display them to the public, because a lot of people don't get a chance to see wildlife up close like that. So people can walk around the cages and take a look. We have a peregrine falcon and some owls and some crows, and all non-releasable. We have a state-of-the-art examination/trauma room. And it's just a wonderful place to come and visit. There's nature trails in the back too. It's a wonderful park.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me. You're such an amazing person, and thank you so much for starting this rescue center. The work you guys do here is so amazing. And if people want to volunteer and keep up with current events, where should they go?
They can always go to our website at www.wildliferescuecenter.org, where we post all our upcoming events. There's always something exciting going on, and to also check out our Facebook page and like us and follow us on Facebook. And you're pretty amazing too.
Thank you so much. Thank you for talking with me.
You're welcome.